What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in the Khaliis Take. You know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell just so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. But hey, let's just go ahead and jump right in. As much as I think this guy can still contribute a little bit, still has some game left and still can contribute for the Lakers, I just think that his time is pretty much, waning or coming to an end, with the Lakers. And, the player that I'm speaking of, Carmelo Anthony. And, at this point, it doesn't seem like they plan on bringing him back because, when you think about the situation, that they have now or that they've been had, it was more or less because of, defense. And I said defense is their biggest issue. And I feel like the Lakers are starting to see that more and more if they haven't seen it already. I mean, that's why they brought in, Thomas Bryant and a few other, they definitely added a lot of, youthful players, young players, this offseason already. You see what I'm saying? And I think one of the guys on there, he's wearing number 7 jersey or something like that. Also, his last name is Brown Jr. And he's a young guy that they got on the team right now. And it was Troy Brown Jr. That's his name. Yeah, Troy Brown Jr. And it was reported actually on Sports Illustrated as well about him wearing number 7 jersey and everything like that. And so there was also a rift about, the Carmelo's other jersey number 2, regards to jersey number 15. So it's they were making reports on there about, how that might be the Lakers' sign of pushing, Carmelo out, of the rotation and, possibly letting him move on to another team. But, you can read that report on Sports Illustrated and everything. But honestly, damn the report. Even with Troy Brown, he's a young player, he's gonna play well, I hope, and everything, but I don't think the jersey number issue has nothing to do with anything. I'm just telling you myself that I believe his time, Carmelo's time with the Lakers is pretty much past based upon other reports that was out there before the one on Sports Illustrated about, this young guy taking, Troy Brown taking Carmelo's jersey number, which I don't think that's too big of a thing, but I mean, it could be. You never know, guys. Some guys are very sensitive about jersey numbers. They really are. So, but there has been other reports about Carmelo in regards to, his stay with the Lakers, because as I said, the Lakers are really trying to get more youthful. I mean, they have at least 4 or 5 players, give or take, that are 33, 34 plus years old on that team. You see what I'm saying? So, with that type of older roster, you really, have to evaluate the situation and say, can we really win with this roster? Because these guys are older, playing the 82 game season and then going out there and playing a playoff series. If they actually make it that far, that would be really tough for them. You know what I'm saying? Because the older guys, they get tired as the season goes on. They don't have those extra, they don't have the extra momentum. Their legs get weaker. You see what I'm saying? They don't have that second gear, to put it in. They don't have that second wind anymore. So it's like when you look at that, it really, what I'm saying, is a bad situation for Carmelo, because he is 38, but he's not LeBron James 38. He's an actual 38-year-old player. You see what I'm saying? So, because LeBron's just different. You see what I'm saying? But Carmelo can still, he still could put up points. He averaged about 12, 13 points a game last year for the Lakers, shooting over 44% from the field. So, I mean, that tells you that he still can ball. He still got some game left in him. No doubt about that. But, I mean, what he brings to a team is not championship level, experience, not championship level gameplay. It's just the way it is. He never was that when he was younger. He was always a stat guy, more or less like a scorer, putting up big points and, never equating to anything, never really equating to winning. He could never carry his own team and win a championship. He's just not that, great of a player. I never thought he was. I always thought he was a great player, but I never thought he was that great of a player. When I think of Carmelo Anthony, I don't think of high basketball IQ in regards to winning. I don't see that in him. I see him just as like I said, a really great scorer at one time for the Denver Nuggets and a little bit for the Knicks. And, he just kind of like, faded, from there, but at the same time, he's still useful to a team. I don't really think he's that useful to a a championship team. You see what I'm saying? And the Lakers are trying to win a championship ultimately, especially if they're trying to still get Kyrie Irving. And there's, still notions out there where they're trying to get Kevin Durant, possibly a package deal and all this other stuff you're hearing about. And, when you think about somebody like Carmelo, yeah, he comes off the bench. He could put up points and he still can, give them, double digit points off the bench. But at the same time, he's so much of a liability when he comes into the game because he can't defend anybody. And he's one of the worst defenders on the team, actually. And honestly, he's never been a good defender his whole career. So, I mean, that defense is not something he's ever been known for. So you got to look at these things. And I think the Lakers are evaluating these things. And I definitely wouldn't be surprised to see Carmelo be one of the pieces that they currently have and that they let go. You see what I'm saying? Or they send off somewhere else. I mean, they definitely will send him in a package deal. I'm pretty sure he's definitely a part of that package deal that they're insisting on relaying to the Brooklyn Nets. Like, hey, we can give you Carmelo. We can throw in this player. We can throw in some picks. We can give you Russell Westbrook. I'm pretty sure he's a part of that package deal that they're offering to the Nets. Or possibly, if there's a three-way trade like I spoke about, in yesterday's video with the Spurs, he's probably a package deal or something like that, with a three-way trade for him being sent there. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I just really don't see Carmelo sticking around. There's a few others too, maybe Dwight Howard and a few others possibly as well, but definitely Carmelo. I for some reason, I don't, the way he plays and everything is good. But like I said, the Lakers are really trying to get younger. They're trying to get youthful. And if that's the case, then Carmelo is just going to fall out the rotation anyway. Because hypothetically, if one of these young players they got, between the draft and, just adding Thomas Bryant and other players like that. I mean, how many minutes, is Carmelo going to get if one of these young players, happen to step up? You see what I'm saying? And like I said, it looks like the Lakers are going towards more of the youthful side rather than the elderly side, of course. So, I mean, if that's the case, which that definitely should be the case, you got to make room for the youth and, move the old out after a while because they can't do what they used to do. You see what I'm saying? So I definitely see Carmelo being a part of a package deal of being sent somewhere, in order to acquire somebody else or acquire Kyrie or somebody like that. I definitely see that. His name was looming about a week ago in regards to a package or about less than a week ago in regards to a package deal anyway. Of course, that's not definite, but I mean, I definitely seen that, on some other sites that I looked at. And then, just for the simple fact of, like I said, what can they really, how much more can they get out of Carmelo? I mean, he could be the best scorer they have off the bench, but, at some point, if they get the right pieces in there, they won't, like I said, he might actually fall out of the rotation of actually even playing. And, if that happens, he's definitely not going to be happy because he definitely wants to contribute and he definitely wants to play for a team that, he could feel like he's a part of the roster, not just be a guy sitting on the end of the bench, basically being a cheerleader for the team. I don't think Carmelo will be cool with that. And like I said, I just don't really feel like it's much room left for Carmelo, but I think that if he's a part of the package deal, what they're trying to do with the Kyrie thing and all that, I don't think the Lakers are going to hesitate to pull the trigger. And I don't think no Lakers fan really would be, ungrateful if the Lakers did that. You know what I'm saying? If it's going to get back a max type player, you see what I'm saying? So I definitely see that, happening. I definitely wouldn't be surprised if Carmelo's not there starting next season. And I definitely think the Lakers are trying to go to more towards the youthful side and keep the big three that they have unless they swap out Westbrook in a package deal, as I said before, and kind of just go from there. Like I said, I still like Carmelo's game. I still like him coming off the bench for a team. I definitely think he can come off the bench and have good games. I just don't think that any championship team will want to take him on because it's like I said, championship teams need defense. Any team that wins championships are usually pretty decent at defense, usually. So if you're that type of team, Carmelo is not going to be a player that you're looking at even, to put on your roster. You know what I'm saying? Carmelo is probably going to be added to a team like Well, if he's in a package deal, of course, he might go to Brooklyn, or if they send him there, or to the Spurs. I can see him on a team like that. I can see him on a team like the Hornets, or even the Portland Trail Blazers again, or something like that. I can see him on teams like that, but definitely don't be surprised by what happens with Carmelo there. And we'll just have to see how it ends up for him. But either way, like I said, he played good for the Lakers. He was one of their bright spots, honestly, in regards to, him putting up points. He wasn't the most consistent, but he was one of their bright spots, because they had a lot of lowlights with Russell Westbrook and, a lot of things going on there. And Carmelo definitely, kept himself afloat, which is a good thing. And hopefully if he stays with the Lakers, that'd be good for him. If he goes somewhere else, that would be good too. So he can extend his career and just kind of go from there. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section. Check out my other videos if you haven't. And hey, Khaliis out.